大家好，欢迎回来。今天要跟大家聊一个发生在巴西街头的真实事件，主角竟然是一台中国汽车比亚迪。近日，巴西足球明星奥古斯丁·罗西驾驶比亚迪遭到了强烈的枪击抢劫，但最后他却毫发无伤，汽车也只是轻微受损。这到底是怎么回事？让我们来看下面的视频。
BYD just had this absolutely wild moment in Brazil that's got everyone talking. So here's what went down on May 8th, and you're not gonna believe this story. Agustin Rossi, who's the goalkeeper for Flamengo and happens to drive a BYD宋Plus DM-i, was heading back to Rio de Janeiro when he ran into some serious trouble. We're talking armed robbery here, folks. Now here's the crazy part. His宋Plus DM-i took 4 bullets, for actual bullets, but still managed to get him out of there safely. Everyone inside the car was totally fine, not a scratch on them. This isn't some made-up marketing stunt or anything like that. This was real life, real bullets, real danger. And honestly, no amount of fancy advertising copy could ever beat this kind of real-world proof. Think about it for a second. Remember before the India-Pakistan conflict when nobody really knew how good China's J-10C fighter jets were? Then one real battle happened, and suddenly the French Rafale jets looked pretty embarrassing while Chinese tech got all the headlines. Well, the exact same thing is happening right now in Brazil, except this time it's in the car industry. Look, Chinese cars have been going global for a while now, but we've really only been on the world stage for a few years. Tons of people around the world still have these major doubts about Chinese manufacturing, especially when it comes to electric vehicles and whether they're actually safe and reliable. But after this whole gunfight situation, BYD has pretty much locked down their position as the top dog in the Brazilian market. From now on, whenever someone tries to say Chinese cars aren't safe, you can just show them this video and ask them which car they think is safer. Tell them to go ahead and test it out themselves, sit in whatever car they think is so safe and see if they're willing to take 4 bullets to prove it. Actually, a lot of the big players in Brazil's underground scene have been really into BYD lately. When those bullets hit the car, soccer star Augusto Rossi probably never imagined that his BYD宋Plus would become like the ultimate bulletproof fortress on Brazilian streets. The footage shows the宋Plus with several bullet holes in the body, but all the important structural parts were completely undamaged. This comes down to their global high-standard materials. Over 62% of the body is high-strength steel, and the core components use ultra-high-grade hot-formed steel. Basically, they've built this mobile safety fortress. Whether it's stray bullets in Rio de Janeiro or extreme crash scenarios, this dual protection system designed by Chinese engineers, with the blade battery plus dragon bone steel frame, keeps protecting people's lives no matter what. On the streets of Rio's favelas, BYD has already become the people's car of choice because of its super long range and rock-solid quality. And in certain underground circles, it's won special favor for its next-level safety performance and has become like a status symbol. Local media are even joking that you don't need to check license plates to figure out whose ride belongs to which big shot. You just look for bullet holes. Whichever car has the most holes, that's the guy with the most street cred.
不开玩笑，让我们回到主题。就像我们前面视频看到的那样，我相信很多观众都会有一个疑问：比亚迪的质量真的有宣传的这么靠谱吗？我要说的是，所有消费者都不是傻子，老外更加明白这点。所以我下面推荐的这3款车型，绝对是比亚迪海外车型的大热。接下来我们来看视频。
Take the Shark 06 pickup truck. Not only is it built tough, but since it's electric, it runs super quiet through jungle terrain. Perfect for guerrilla operations in the rainforest. Then there's their off-road brand Leopard, which handles all kinds of South American terrain like it's nothing. These underground bosses, major drug lords, armed groups, even revolutionary forces, they really need vehicles like the Leopard that have strong range, run quietly, and have amazing off-road capabilities. The Leopard is actually more for the crew members though. The real bosses and top guys should be driving the Yongwang U8. This car keeps all the great features of the Leopard, but upgrades the interior to something absolutely luxurious and mind-blowing. Plus, it's got this killer feature, incredible waterproof performance that lets it drive through water. If you accidentally end up in the Amazon River, no worries, the Yongwang U8 can totally save you. And it can turn around on the spot, which is basically custom made for these power players. Picture this, You're driving down some jungle road and suddenly you spot government troops, police units, or enemy forces setting up an ambush. Something doesn't feel right, and you need to turn around and get out of there fast. With a regular car, you'd be sitting there forever trying to turn around, and by the time you're done, you'd be full of holes. This same logic totally applies to the African continent too, because they've got just as many warlords and terrorist groups as South America. Toyota's definitely gonna get pushed out eventually, and it'll be replaced by BYD pickups paired with AK-47s.
光靠嘴说肯定是不行的，比亚迪吹得再牛，没有数据支撑，也没有信服力。所以接下来让我用最新的数据告诉你，比亚迪真的已经碾压了所有新能源车企了。
First set. In April, BYD dominated the Chinese car market with 347,000 units sold, holding the number 1 spot. The combined sales of second, third, and fourth place could barely match BYD's numbers. That's what level we're talking about here. BYD's cumulative sales from January to April exceeded 1.28 million units, continuing to lead the new energy vehicle market and showing just how unshakable their position is as the market leader. What's really worth mentioning is that whether we're talking about April alone or the January-April period, BYD's sales in the Chinese market exceeded the combined sales of Tesla, Volkswagen, and Toyota, 3 major foreign car brands. This means BYD is leading Chinese automotive in breaking the long-term monopoly that American, Japanese, and German car companies had in the Chinese market. They're writing a glorious new chapter for Chinese automobiles. Beyond their outstanding performance in China, BYD's April sales went global, with incredibly strong overseas market performance too. BYD hit 79,000 units in overseas markets in April, shooting up 91% year-over-year, basically doubling their numbers. Their January-April cumulative exports exceeded 293,000 units, absolutely unstoppable. We all know the European market is home turf for German and American cars, but BYD totally crushed Tesla in April across core European markets like Spain, Italy, France, Germany, and the UK. As of May 2025, BYD has entered over 20 European countries, and with their leading technology advantages, comprehensive product lineup, and global market strategy, BYD is earning worldwide recognition. So yeah, you gotta hand it to Wang Chuanfu. These top Chinese entrepreneurs are gonna have their names worshipped and praised globally in the future. As for the second set of data, according to research released by Wilson, BYD has incredibly high brand loyalty. 31% of BYD owners choose BYD again when they're replacing their cars. From Huawei phones stopping bullets to BYD now surviving gunfights, Chinese brands are using exceptional products to reshape global automotive market perceptions. This concept of technology equality might just be the secret code behind landing in Brazil and taking the new energy sales crown in just 17 months.
Now in Brazil, BYD from China, the cars here are everybody wants. But right now we have bad time with this, not enough chargers. So I want to bring it to the consumers because the Chinese product is already in Brazil. So it's easier for us to get approval. For the Brazil market of this, we're going to take only 1 container and go from there and see how we can get the government approval to get it started. Then I can bring container, then you can bring more.
朋友们，你们发现没有？有时候最好的广告真不是花钱能买来的。比亚迪的这次巴西经历绝对是现实里最魔幻、最硬核的广告。不过话说回来，这事还真让我感到触动，因为我们似乎正在见证汽车行业的大洗牌。如果把时间倒退20年，谁能想到今天的中国汽车能和德系、美系、日系车正面硬刚？比亚迪曾经被多少人看不起，即便中国人在油车时代也是看不起比亚迪的，更别说老外了。但是这个曾经吊车尾的品牌正在一步一步成为传奇。好了，这就是今天的全部内容。如果喜欢我创作的视频，一定要给我订阅、点赞支持哦。我们下期节目再见，拜拜。